for inside control, where I'm looking to constantly get my grips, whether it's wrist grips, whether it's 2-on-1s. It also helps me if I swim my limbs inside of pulls. So it kind of helps me like shoot into underhooks. But if you're a little more advanced, you can also think about getting outside grips. So let's say like Paul's going for inside control. I can also get like an elbow grip and sort of start manipulating his grips as well. So it's just like a continuous grip fight for 2 minutes with your partner. And you guys aren't just like standing here like on 2 feet. You want to be able to move around as well. So when I'm getting my grips, I want to get my grips and then just like move a little bit. The whole point of getting grips is to move your opponent. So part of that is I get my own grips and I'm also moving, which in turn moves my opponent. And it's just this fluid kind of continuous thing where when you're looking to get grips, break grips. Any questions? Just for 2 minutes to warm up. Switch partners and do this again, but once you get your grip, don't just reset. Let's say I get this underhook. What I want to do is to start moving with that grip. The whole point of getting an underhook is not for me to just reset and like start over. It's to get an underhook and then start moving my partner. And so like the opportunities for takedowns and also snapdowns are going to come when I start moving. So like right here, I'm starting to break Paul's posture, and then I can get him to a front headlock. Or, like, if I get this underhook, if I just stand here and don't do anything, there's not much I can do. I want to generate opportunities by moving and then looking as he steps, start looking for takedowns. Not saying that we need to do takedowns in this exercise, but just like knowing that you're moving your opponent, and then you can start looking for opportunities is good. But what I don't want you guys to do is just to like get like grips and then not do anything with them. So it's like if I get a collar tie and a wrist grip, I'm going to start moving. Whether it's left, whether it's right, I think it just gets you used to generating movement, and then that will generate a lot of opportunities. If you do get to something like a front headlock or your body lock, you could reset, but You could also just like loosely hold onto it and then let your partner like figure out how to break the grips, turn to face me, or reset position. Like, yeah. Alright, you partners, same thing. So on Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving, I think I talked about, especially when you're on your feet, about this idea of getting your feet aligned before you take a shot. So whether or not I shoot with like my left foot forward or if I shoot with my right foot forward, the constant is that like I want to have my power leg aligned behind. So like I think it also helps to confuse your opponent a little bit. But basically, I think of like my feet as magnets, and when I shoot with my left foot forward, as an example, it's actually my power leg that moves first. So it's my right leg that moves first, and it's just going to get in alignment with my left foot, and then it's going to go forward. If I shoot with my right, it's the same thing. My power leg goes into the back, and it comes forward. I think like if you slow down a lot of wrestling matches, you'll see like when they shoot, there's kind of like this, almost like an opening step where the power leg goes to the back, and then they're ready to go. In some cases, like let's say I shoot with my left, but my right foot is forward, same thing. Like I'm gonna switch and go to my power leg, so if you guys want to practice this still real quick, like before we play another game, it's basically like just keeping your feet like on a straight line, and then whichever leg that you feel like you shoot with, I just recommend doing both just because you'll never know when you need to go to the other side. But it's essentially this idea of like I'm bringing my power leg behind me, and as I do that, this like magnetic kind of like force pushes my shooting leg forward, and then I'm ready for my stance. And so like in actuality, when you're moving around with your opponent, you're basically looking for opportunities, and then you're sort of making sure you step your power leg behind. And if you're fancy, you can even or to confuse your opponent by having a right foot forward and then switching on them. But you can also switch this side as well. So we'll just do a little bit of solo drilling for about a minute or so. And then we'll play a game where we're looking to get single legs. Options. Alright, up 2 and 2. So the last game we'll play standing up is basically combining everything we know. So whether it's, you'll definitely be doing grip fighting. So you're doing your grip fighting, and then each of you are just looking to pick up a single. That's the win condition. So like I'm here, Paul's looking for a single, I'm looking for a single. So again, I'm using my grips to sort of move my opponent. And when I feel like I'm ready, I can pick up a single with connected hands. Once I'm here, you reset, and then we're looking at the same. So looking at getting grips, moving our opponent, generating openings, whether it's getting their arms out of the way to expose this space, or making them step, and while they're sort of readjusting their weight, I'm thinking of sliding in for a single. And then of course, like making sure you're doing your power steps for your shots. I know it's a lot to think about, so sometimes it's just good to focus on the grip fight and moving your opponent, and then looking for shot opportunities. And then if your shot is ugly, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just over time, like I think you'll also find that if you slow it down. I think most people already shoot like this. Like you already do like this little alignment step. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I just want to make that like a point when we were practicing. All right, we'll do this for 2 minutes with 2 partners, and then we'll move on to questions. All right, I'll do 1, 2. Any are actually there's some good stuff like there are pockets. Alright, nice. Just like in any time in jiu-jitsu, plus when you're standing, if you ever get stuck, like someone's like grabbing like really tight on their grips, my thinking is always like I'm just gonna figure out a way to generate movement. So even if I have like some of the tightest grips on Paul, like he should figure out like how do I generate movement? Yeah, he could even move me, like right there. He could move me even though I have grips. So you don't want to. I feel like getting stuck is a common problem, especially if someone's game is simply there to negate yours. Like, oh, every time I form a grip, they're gonna break it. So sometimes I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna concede and give them a grip, and then figure out how to generate movement off of that. And then that's when I feel like you get less stuck and a little bit more creative with your movements. We'll do a little bit of open guard, so you can go down like that. We'll start in this position here. Paul's looking to keep his guard, so keep his legs in front of me. What I'm going to be looking to do in this game is to flank him at least 3 times. And so basically what I mean is I'm looking to get past his legs and touch my shin on any side of on the right side of his body. It doesn't have to be like knee on belly. As long as I get my shin to kind of like the thigh all the way up to the shoulder, I can touch my shin to his thigh like this. That's 1. And then now I have to go all the way to the other side, do it again, 2, and then all the way to the other side again, 3. Once I've achieved that, we'll switch top and bottom. So that's the win condition for the top. Win condition for the bottom, there is none. So the only thing Paul can do is basically keep knees to chest. He'll start playing his guard. And now he's looking to keep me in front of him. So yeah, so maybe I start taking a flank. He's gonna start making sure that his knees, shins, and feet are ahead of me, making this difficult for me to flank. Any questions on the game? So the reason why we're doing this is it's essentially like a guard retention drill, but also for the top person, it's a way to understand like how do I reliably get a flank on my opponent. A lot of good passing options come here. A lot of good passing options present themselves when you're at an angle with your opponent. So we just want to learn for the top person getting into this position, so I have good passing options, and then bottom person is learning to keep square with your opponent, which will also help with guard retention. Any questions? Do this with
One question. So is the goal to just get past the knees or get your leg in between the arms and legs?
I guess both of them are sort of synonymous, right? Like if I touch my shin to any side of his body here, I am technically past the knees.
Okay.
Yeah. But then he might like try to recover and bring his knees in. That's fine. You can still count that as 1. Now you're looking to go to the other side. Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you sat out before, don't sit out again until we like rotate. Okay.
Is it just 3?
I think it's 3 minutes.
Alright, new partner, same thing. Looking for flank center partner / partner. Most of the C family are family. Very similar, just with a slightly different goal for the person on top. So instead of taking a flank, I want the top person to look at connecting any part of my leg here to the inside of the knee pin. If I can get connection, that's one, and then again we're going to go for it 3 times. Whether it's here, you can do your other leg as well. And then 3 times. Person on bottom again is looking to not let that happen and also to retain their guard. The reason why we're doing this is because a lot of good passing options, we're doing this from the outside. From the outside you have your J point camping, you have just straight up outside passes, you can go north-south passes. If you go through the middle here, you have your cut throughs, you have your headquarters pass, where I'm kind of like inside the knee pit. And then you also have your smash passes from all of those positions where I just start smashing the legs together and moving to the back. So again, we're looking for those like initial entry points for these kind of passes. So I'm looking for that, touching that knee pit, backing out, looking for it again. First of all, bottoms, trying to prevent that, and also not to let their guard can pass. Any questions? 1, 2, 2. Yeah, that's one. And then you want to bring that to 2.
Just touching the inside of the knee.
Alright, one more time, new partners.
So Frank, we're just touching the inside of the knee, or do we have to clear it in advance?
Might touch it and be able to, I think I'd say hold one that one down.
Just a pin.
saw was pretty good. I think it's tough, especially if you get constrained saying like, oh, I can only go down the middle. I think eventually when you guys are actually bowling, it'll become clear that like, oh, if I'm trying to go down the middle and they're just not letting me, obviously outside is the way that the path of least resistance is the way I go, right? And so I think a lot of you hanging out in this position where it was like trying to get to the knees, but this is actually a very good position for you if there was no constraints on the roll. So it's like, eventually you'll want to just mix both of them, like, oh, I'm going outside, he recovers, and then it's like, now I can step inside and then continue trying to get to an initial entry point. So eventually you'll mix it all up together. So I wouldn't worry too much if it was really hard to get on the inside, but if you're able to sort of switch between the two eventually, I think that's kind of like what you live on. If I can go to the outside, then my angle will threaten them to reset to me, and then I can use that reset to maybe on the inside if I want to. Okay, so we're gonna go back to doing some of our closed guard stuff that we were working on before Thanksgiving. Start with a game where you're in my closed guard. I have overhook, collar tie. The game for me, the win conditions are I'm looking to get to this initial triangle position where I get one of his arms and his head. So either this position, or I get to an omoplata position where I capture his entire shoulder with my leg, and I end up in this position. Those are the two positions that we're looking for. So we're starting with posture already broken, and then we play from here. Person on top, your goal is to simply get your posture back. You don't even have to exit the close guard. Because the bottom person is starting with such good grips, if I lose these grips and he postures up, game's over. Switch. So the whole idea for me is I need to be able to maintain this posture, this broken down posture, and progress my attacks. So get to either a one arm in with the head situation, captured with my feet, like this. It doesn't even have to be like a fully locked triangle, just head and arm, cross my ankles. Or, depending on how the situation plays out, maybe he's turning away, getting my leg over, trapping his shoulder, and looking to bring my bottom leg out to this omoplata position here. So either of these two can be the win condition. For person in the closed guard, if you can get your posture back, that's also a win condition. If any of those conditions are met, you guys will switch. Any questions? Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2.
It's athletic too. Maybe if I end up posturing up.
gonna play this game again, but let me just talk about. I see a lot of people losing posture, this posture right here, because like I have this overhook, and then if I decide to go for the triangle, like yeah, my partner can start picking up, and sometimes this overhook isn't enough to hold. And so this is what I like. I like to get what stronger parts of my body involved, so it's like my legs. So my legs are just down there; they're not doing much. But if I can move my legs up, it can at least help control posture for a little bit. So now when Paul tries to posture up, it's much harder. Like I have like this clamp over. You can do this, whatever helps you sort of get your lower body involved. Let's see, what else did I see? I think, Phil, I saw you trying to regain posture, like your overhook was slipping, and then your partner is framing on you like this. I also think the same thing applies. Like he's about to break off and get posture, but if I can start moving my feet up, I can start breaking him down again. Now he's carrying the weight of my legs, and I have my entire lower body to pull him into me, rather than just using my arms to try to pull him in. So readjusting your legs can be a good solution for that kind of thing too. But also, yeah, like when I'm looking for the triangle here, if Paul decides to try to posture up, I can always look to keep him down by sort of scooting upwards, getting my lower body involved here. And now I'm in a much better place to get that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So don't forget about your legs. They are the stronger part of your body. And then don't forget about angling out as well. That's going to help you achieve better angles to slip your foot through. All right, we'll play this game again. Go ahead, new partners. Questions?
So if you go after that one, turn on your side a little bit. Get your knee on my shoulder. How about you posture up? Harder on that.
It's like you can almost like hang your body weight on this as you scoot.
You're keeping me from this posture.
Okay. And then get this over. That's fine. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So really, yeah. Does that feel better? Keeping posture.
I think so, yeah.
Let's back out a little bit, make it a little bit harder. So we'll start in this position, just regular close guard. Bottom person, my goals are still the same. I'm looking to get to that head and arm trap triangle position, or I'm looking to get to that omoplata. So I have more to do now, which means I have to like break his posture from where he is now, and then get my grips, and then start initiating that. I will add a third win condition for me on the bottom, is if I can sweep him. So if I can somehow, if I can do maybe like hit on the sweep and take him over, or in the course of us like fighting it out, if I can get like a grip, block his leg, and bring him over, that's also a good condition as well. And like, I didn't really show too many sweeps from closed, but the concept is actually very simple. It's just like, he's a building and I'm going to topple him. And how do you topple him? Like, usually it involves keeping a grip and then making sure to bring his weight over his center of gravity in a way where he cannot face in that direction. So it could be anything. I could do cross grip, I could just do a simple wrist grip, and then basically like make sure he can't get this grip back. And so if you look, it's like, if I push him over this way, he might be able to put his knee out and base like that. There's nothing that he can do to base over here. So I'm looking to maybe sweep above me. And so I can basically think of like hundreds of sweeps just like that, where it's like I turn him into a table or a building and then bring his weight over to where he cannot put out an arm or a leg. So that's basically how most sweeps work. Like conceptually, like, oh, maybe I get this grip, maybe I open his leg. Now he can't base anywhere on his left side. So I just turn it like that. So that's the third win condition for me on the bottom. You can think about off balancing your opponent with grips as well, or threatening coming up with hip height to bump them over, and then interplay that with getting their posture down, getting your legs involved, and getting trap triangle. For the top person, your goal is to stand and disconnect. So I'm looking to stand and get out of the close guard. If I stand and he still is able to pull me down or scoop grip me and sweep me or something like this, you're not out of it yet. You have to disconnect completely from the close guard. Pushes. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Basically sideways, and you're just doing that. Very point. I'm working on this. That's how far my side is. You've got to walk out there. I think I can't get it unless if I'm out on my side, I can't clear this. If I'm here. Yeah. What I don't know is how is Dan doing? Because Dan is so fast. And his not like his short legs. He has good ankle.
I would play play this game over time. Just a quick note: be careful about cross gripping. So, I want to be really careful about bringing my hand across Paul's chest here. So what he can do is any number of things that grab up my head and arm. Now I definitely have no base over there. So he can probably move to the back now to get the angle and then completely move to the back. Or he can just trap my arm and roll. And I can't base over here, so I go. Just be really careful about bringing your arm across the center line. And for the person on the bottom, if you do see the arm across the center line, it's a great time to take away space. So take up the space behind the tricep. And then now you have a very strong grip to work with. So for me, if my arm is ever across the center line, I'm looking to get it back. Take away back.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Alright, run this back again with a different partner. 1, 2, 1, 2.
You want to do it, you have to have that knee on the shoulder. Look here. That one. More. Get it higher. This one. Get it here. Here. And then it's going to scissor your knee like, I think it's lifting it up, yeah, to your chest. Just like here. And you get it all on the side.
Alright, last two games we'll play involve finishing, so let me get you a triangle. So we'll start in this position. One of the end conditions that you might have gone to in the previous games. My only goal is to finish. And Paul's goal is to either get, basically get another arm back in, kind of closed, or get out of the closure. So like maybe he escapes his head, but leaves his arm behind, it's still on. We're gonna go to omoplatas. Or if he gets his head out and also slips his arm out, it's over. So I'm only looking to finish the triangle. I know we went over the mechanics briefly last week. Do what you know. And then I think I'll take a look at how things are going in this game, and then maybe I'll make a few pointers on finishing the triangle. But we're looking to finish the triangle, also looking to escape. Or and prevent getting pushed. Any questions? On to you. Let's do it again.
They would bend their legs.
I feel like that's really nice. Yeah, I think it wasn't elevating your arm.
Kick your head. I'm gonna go very slowly. In theory, I could go like that. I can try to finish from here.
Get on
You're close. Yes. Good job.
Alright, let's talk about triangle mechanics real quick. So over here, we have this triangle. A couple things going on. I see some people losing posture, so like Paul's sort of like standing up, and then it's going to be harder for me to finish here. So I'm always thinking about keeping his posture down, whether it's back of the head, whether it's keeping my hand on the shin, whatever. And then I'm always thinking about getting an angle to finish the triangle. Even if you have this locked up, yeah, sure, I could pull his head down, I could squeeze my legs, it could be a finish. But the problem is, the way the mechanic of the triangle works is, I have my leg on his carotid on this side, and then it's actually his own arm that blocks the carotid, more like this, that blocks his carotid on the other side. The problem is, like when I lock it, his shoulder right here is in this position. So most people can kind of like open up their arm, and when they do this, they can basically avoid getting choked on this side. So what I do to mitigate that is, on the side where my knee is on his carotid, I start taking any kind of scoop grip on that side, whether it's the armpit, if I can reach the leg, I will. And it's to help me to get this angle right here, like this 90-degree angle. You'll see that like when I do that, it kind of like pushes his arm a little bit. Like my thigh starts to cover his shoulder here. So we're starting to eliminate the shoulder. You can also, as you scoop and move off to an angle, one, keep posture. You can also lift your hips and move the arm across, like before you do that. So like if you're here, if you feel more comfortable just lifting your hips, bringing the arm across, and then bringing them down again, so you're using your stomach to kind of hold the arm in place. That's cool too. I'm not too worried about the positioning of the arm. I'm more worried about eliminating the shoulder from the equation. Whether you move the arm across to help you do that or you don't, that's fine. There are ways to eliminate the shoulder in both situations. So from here, I scoop. So now you see my thigh is covering the shoulder. And it's like mostly just his arm right here that's in his carotid. And then from here, what I do is I walk up and then basically go like this. And you can see like the space between your legs gets much smaller, much faster when your knees are pointed in the same direction. Versus like here, where I just kind of like, the space doesn't close that fast. Plus he has his shoulder in here. So again, posture control, scoop grip, angle off to 90. I even like to use this kind of like inside of my thigh to push away the shoulder. And then I lock up. And then he's already ready to tap. And I still have all of this to go. maybe just drill this out for 2 to 3 minutes. Then might be the end of class. We'll do some open on Wednesday and then move into some other attacks as well. 202.
Alright, Philip. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're just drilling this, so don't worry about that.
It's only the arm that's not.
Do it again.
Together. Curl.
So you want angle off. Yeah. Yeah, don't see that. You angling. I feel like this is still curved. So you want to do angle off. It's like almost going under. So right now you're kind of like out here. I don't want to bring him up. And then I'm sort of going under. You see how like his head is almost. He's basically above me now.
Are we hips too high? I'm sorry.
Really? I want to say it might be because Paul was sinking back. He was going backwards.
Okay.
And so like what I want to do is bring my knees to my chest. So now I kind of do this version underneath him. And then he was holding his arm pretty straight. So that's fine. I can just use my arm to sort of hedge over the shoulder here.
Okay.
You start with a turn.
You're relative.
So I think the key thing is probably to knees together and knees to your chest. Bring him in and then invert under.
Okay, so I think you're very straight up and down still. Go that way. Not with your butt, with your top.
What do we use with the legs?
You're pulling him.
Now we do it still.
Pull it out.
Yeah.
Even more like here.
Don't worry about that. I mean, you can't make it. The harder it is. Your knees were getting far forward slow.
Go back to the start. Like maybe something. No, still. No switch. So you're just lock in the triangle.
Yeah.
So before you do that,
So it's already.
open your hips like this and bring his arm across first. And then suck your hips down again and trap his arm. Yeah, okay. Now do a scoop grip and angle it off.
Better? He's torturing Philip.
So bring your knees to your chest. And then you have your scoop grip on that side. Grab his head. You don't need to grab the arm anymore because it's a big trap on the head. And then now I want you to just rotate maybe this way. And you want this right here. You'll block. And then now you just squeeze down. How's that? And then suck your knees to your chest. Now, you don't need to worry about like go to the head instead. Yeah, and now rotate. One side. Yeah. Just good adjustments. Yeah,
I know. This is still punishing this.
a leak I've had on this. You hear much. Sure. So when I go for this angle, is it okay? I drop my leg or do you keep going?
I think it's fine. I think it's being eliminated very well. It's just, are you sure this grip? Can you go over the right here? We can't do it. Like, I would try to start against it. That's for sure not gonna happen. And now it's kind of like bring this thigh more down my shoulder or show me that shoulder. Yeah, you can use it to like sort of push that shoulder.
Down or up?
Away from you. Like, kind of like, you know, tie your weight to the shoulder and then bring them away.
You want this on top? You're okay.
Let me see if I can do it.
You need your body closer to 90 degrees to me. If we're straight, it's a lot harder. The only thing
If you want a deeper grip, you can get the
yeah, that works too. Whatever you have to do, you gotta get closer to 90. Now these together? No. Yeah, I see it takes like just for a whole.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so maybe that's that. Maybe go for the knee. Maybe you're right back.
Any questions here? Yes. Alright, fine, we're a little bit over, sorry. Some of the things I saw. I think the biggest problem most of us had was this arm right here. Like, if we didn't bring it across, like when we do our scoop grip, some people kept this pretty straight, and I can see how that can be a problem. Like, I'm pretty used to like these very small adjustments to make it work for me. If that's a problem, like I would, before I even go scoop grip, I would just make sure I keep posture, raise my hips and bring the arm across, and then bring my knees to my chest again, trapping the arm. And I see a lot of you holding onto this arm. Once it's trapped, you can let go. You have free hand to do whatever you want. Now, if you ask your partner, can you get your arm back? No, because it's stuck in this, like, right up against my stomach. So now I grab his head, I scoop wherever I can, and then I start moving this way. And then now his arm's not kind of like here, so it's much easier to get a really tight bite, and then we can go forward. Just a little tip if you guys are finding it hard. I will say, like, once you get very good at that movement, I think you can make it work even without thinking about that arm. Kind of just like take the ankle and go for it. Wednesday we'll work omoplatas. Maybe do a little introduction to rubber guard if we want. I also really like K guard from close, which might be more useful for most people. I think rubber guard can kind of be weird for some folks. But yeah, we can do probably some K guard and some omoplatas on Wednesday. Sorry, I went over. Happy Thanksgiving. K guard. Stay consistent.
Yes, we had 24, 25.
We had my parents, my partner, and my sister. Five. Oh, and the dog was six.
Like my dog.
And my partner's bird, so I guess. The bird, yeah, I got a bird. He is a green nate, or yellow nate. And
Are you quitting or can you fly around the room?
he can't fly covered.
It's clipped.
I'm not sure.
I've only played with a couple of parents there.
Yeah.
Smart.
But he's he like he's be our next.
Entering that scramble with
Sorry, kind of apartment hunting right now.
Yeah, a little bit. You know of anything?
Just by here? Not really.
Or just like, look anywhere with this.
Like, where do you guys want to end up? I think cemetery is not a bad option. I certainly can get above like Del Mar and San Carlos.
Okay.
Just because I feel like I could go to places like that. The only interesting part of it is like Main Street.
Yeah.
San Francisco has a pretty good like fun area. And then also very close to SF.
Yeah, that's true.
And SF.
Yeah. I mean, probably like Austin's the biggest thing for me right now.
Yeah. Are you going to look at that? Like a friend? Go solo, go.
Yeah, I was just saying this.
That's rough.
I don't know how long.
I see.
How long.
Because in the time that I lived in the Bay, like on my own, pretty much zero. Always my partner is pretty constant.
Gotcha.
Me and her, we've been at our place for like 7, 8 years. It's
Yeah.
It's like 20. It started off like 23, 24.
Oh, really? Wait, that's pretty good.
For a 1 bed.
Okay.
And then now it's like 26, 27. But then if you one up with another person, it's
Yeah,
just
it's not bad.
And then since it's rent control, the rent cannot go up 5%. Sometimes it actually goes down. To be locked out.
Wow.
So then it's like, I don't know, I don't want to move unless it's that. I don't know, is that good? I feel like some of the apartments, just the one bedrooms can range from 25 to like 55.
Yeah, but if you're splitting it with someone, then it's,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to share one bedroom with like a friend.
That would be rough. Yeah, that would definitely be rough. But I guess like I'm thinking a 2-bedroom. Still probably cheaper to do a 2-bedroom with someone.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, I don't know how long I want to sign a lease for, so.
Is there a place that you'd rather be at? Because honestly, I kind of want to go here at some point too.
Yeah.
Just not sure.
I mean, I didn't really envision doing that kind of thing, so this is like where I grew up. In, outside of Liquor Colony. Like, I really like being near your family and like high school friends. But yeah, I don't know if it's like where I just really, I kind of want to move to like Japan or Taiwan when I'm teaching English.
Maybe that's an option. My parents are telling me.
Oh, nice. So,
My grandma is still alive. She's Canadian.
okay.
Basically like East Taiwan.
Yeah.
And I've been going back more often, which is nice.
Yeah.
But cost of living is great there.
Yeah.
And I like Japan too, but
Yeah.
I don't know the language at all.
Yeah. Live in November?
Enough to get me around. But I think if you ask me to go in a professional capacity, that's rough.
But teaching English, they don't really give you the they take people who don't even know it. Yeah. At least like, yeah, like college graduates, like those programs.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think being conversational,
Yeah.
which is just good enough.
Yeah.
If anything, like, I'm at that level where it's just like, I need just to be around speakers.
Yeah.
And it's like a vocabulary issue rather than because my mom put me in Chinese school for like 10 or 2 years, and then she yells at me all the time about it.
Yeah. my mom gave up, but I wish she gave up on putting us through Chinese school. But I kind of wish she did, because I don't really. My family is like Vietnamese, and I don't really know too much about language.
My partner is Chinese, but she also do it.
Yeah.
She knows like, she knows something. She can sort of make out like Mandarin. What my mom says, but I don't know. But then the teacher really stuff. That year, her stuff. And then I don't know like how. Like I kind of have like 8, 9 years of tech.
Yeah.
So it took me a few years back.
But it's not like you're
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of like what you do. Like you either teach for a long time, or I mean, if you do want to get a job on that level, then that's like a good stuff like that. But you can't get it all.
It's just rough because I feel like then you're stuck with Taiwan currency.
Yeah.
And I hear that it's just salaries are like it's rough out there.
Yeah.
And you're stuck there.
You could like get a like part-time tech job, or just try to make like as much money in as little time like remotely in US currency, and then just like living life in Taiwan. I don't know, just great story.
Yeah, the problem is my partner is a lot of it. Not her job is not fun.
Okay. Well,
She's a veterinarian.
oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. People say it's cool, but it is a lot of like there's a lot of bullshit involved with that job. But
Yeah.
she's like she's willing to deal with it.
Yeah. So, I mean, the
I don't know,
journalism
I'd be curious to hear what you come up with potentially.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what happens for me too.
Okay.
In the next couple months, I've got to do something, otherwise I can't just sit around and run out.
Yeah. I mean, low key, same for me. Like this semester in Taiwan and Japan starts in like February, March. So I'd have to like make a decision about that soon.
Wait, you're going to Japan?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm like starting to like look into it and like the plan things.
Dude, I say do it. Like, doesn't matter what, just like how old are you? Like 22?
No,
Dude, still so young. Like, just go out and explore.
yeah.
Don't get caught up trying to be serious unless you really know and love what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Have you been to Japan?
Yeah, I have. I studied abroad there, so I know like a bit of the language.
Dude, Japan's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Was it in like Tokyo, Kyoto?
Yeah, just outside Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah. When I revisited Tokyo, I was like, man, this is crazy. This place is too crazy.
Yeah.
I almost like Kyoto a little bit better.
I think me too.
It's quieter. I do want to explore like other parts of Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
Japan is an interesting example in macroeconomics. It's like this country that makes so much stuff, and the currency just keeps dropping in value.
Yeah.
And so if you're anyone else going to Japan, if you're Japanese, you can't. You know,
That's so weird.
no, and you go there, and like, this is an absolutely first world country. And everything is in such good shape.
And also their birth rates are like have really fallen, right? So like everyone's super old and there's like no young people.
I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
They spent the better part of like 15 years with negative interest rates.
What? That's
The government said,
crazy.
we want you to invest, we don't want you to save.
Yeah.
People wouldn't do it.
Bernard, you know Japanese? Oh, Taiwanese?
Taiwan is rough too, economically.
Really?
My cousin's there.
Sorry.
There's not that much opportunity.
I was gonna cheer for the underdog.
If you exclude NVIDIA and other chip manufacturers, they're not growing. Their closest trading partner is China.
Which is kind of sus.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so thanks, man. Alright, there it is. Later, Frank.
See you, bye.
Oh, you already got it up?
Oh man, I'm tired.
Ah, man. Gonna be crazy today, my friend. You know. I fall asleep at work. All right, Frank. Great class. What's your name?
Keshav.
Hey, Chef?
Yeah.
Paul.
Nice to meet you, man.
Are you a new member or?
No, so I signed up like a year and a half ago,
Oh, okay.
and then work got crazy. Never got a chance. I mean, I came to maybe 10 classes,
Okay.
but I've been rolling with a buddy in his garage, so
Oh, I see.
I've been doing a little bit here and there.
Wait, so did you keep that membership or?
Yeah, I did keep the membership.
Oh, damn. Okay.
No, I'm just an idiot for not going. It's my fault. Actually, I was curious if you have any advice on like competition, signing up, prepping for it.
What is my advice on that?
Like, I'm looking to sign up like next year, some point.
Okay, I would say almost like go as early as possible. Like, I mean, I'd say like if you just train consistently for like 1 to 2 months, you just go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more important that you're consistent. So I don't know how your training looked like a year and a half, but like you clearly are not like a day one type of person. So I'd say like if you train like a month consistently for let's say like 2 months, just to like you're like showing up on the mat, you're getting rounds in, you're thinking about your game.
Yeah.
I'd say someone like you probably I'd just say sign up in like 2 months and then let me or Adam, the head coach, know that you're doing that. Signing
So
up.
where can I find a list of like local stuff?
I think this board is usually populated with what is local, so like this is already passed.
Yeah.
Just World League. And then No-Gi Worlds is for blue belts and above.
Okay.
Yeah. You're blue or white?
I'm white.
Okay. And then there's like a bunch of local ones like BJJ Tour, Jiu-Jitsu World League. If you go to smoothcomp.com,
Okay.
there's usually, you can filter by location, and then that's usually like almost all of the local comps, minus some of the invite-only stuff.
And that's like a year out.
So that's like very soon. Some competitions don't even start broadcasting until like a couple months out. Yeah. But honestly, like, if you want a competition experience, you don't have to wait a year. I think if you train consistently for 2 months and then just sign up, there wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, my only constraint is the fact that I have a bunch of weddings to go to, and I have to plan it out for next month. So it's like, I'm gonna go on a bachelor party and just, you know,
Get wasted.
get wasted,
Yeah.
you know, and then go to the wedding, right?
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to
yeah.
compete that month, right?
Got it. That makes sense.